Man, guys, welcome once again. Let me see why it's not connecting, but it has connected in on YouTube. It has connected. Once again, well, this is the most popular man in Vienna. In my past video, I said the most populous. That was a mistake. I am the most popular man in Vienna. Everybody knows me. Guys, you're welcome once again. No wait. I spend some time together. What is going on? He said it lost internet connection. Okay. So easy. Well, guys, if you join me, make some noise. Like and share. If you join me, make some noise by like and sharing so that I know that I'm in the building. That is it. What's going on? I said if you join us, you make some noise. Nobody is here. What's going on? Does it mean that this thing did not connect or what? If it did not connect, then I've got to start afresh. Yeah, now, because it's supposed to connect. Yeah. Where my homie is at? Well, let me wait for my core fans. Let me share it by myself once more. If you don't want to show me love, I show myself love. Yeah, so if you don't want to show me love, I show myself love. Guys, welcome. Like I said, I am the most popular man in Vienna. Wherever I go, you see one or two people know me. Yes, you see people know me. Everywhere I go in Vienna now, you see people greet me. That's it. I'm talking about Vienna here. So, this evening we are going to discuss religion, as always. We may even touch some other topics, but we are going to discuss religion this evening. Man, I wanted to go outside for a while, but I slept off, woke up, had nothing doing. I decided to come out and spend time with you because there could be people who are so bored, who have nothing doing. It is weekend. And we don't go to club anymore. We've outgrown going to club. Back in the days, we usually go to club. Back then, go dance, go shake the body, chase women, drink some alcohol, smoke some marijuana. But the thing is, I did not smoke. I drank a little bit. You know, I tasted because of the kind of music I listened to. Yes, the music kind of influenced me into drinking alcohol. I drank a lot of bellies, you know, and wine, red wine. I even drank some hot drinks. But I nearly injured myself, you know, taking alcohol. At a time I became addicted, you know, I could not stop. So, but then I thank God that I was able to quit that addiction, that habit. Well, so guys, how many are we here? Patrick Martins is in the building. Patrick Martins, good to have you around. I've not seen you for a while. You just flash and go. I don't know, maybe you are busy making some money. Yeah, that's great. I don't usually see you, but I know why you are not on my broadcast. Busy making some money. Good to see you. So this evening, God's last born is in the building. Majestically, Mane is in the building. I know my people, and my people know me. Those that wishes me well, I know them. So when they are in the building, you see everything will start. People that want me to progress, God's last born. These are my sisters and my brothers from another mother. People that want me to prosper, even without having met me before. God's last born. You see it. This is life for you. I always say it here that there are always people that are ready to support you. And there are also people that want to pull you down. They will want to pull you down. They don't want to see you prosper. But I believe nobody can stop anybody. Only you can stop yourself. So tonight we are going to, I want us to, I want us to reason together. I don't want fight this evening. I don't want fight. There are some questions I'm going to throw at you. Or if you're not willing, you can decide not to answer it, but just listen. Okay, just listen. This broadcast is going to be like, it's going to be a kind of, it's going to be a mix of politics and religion. Politics and religion. Now, here we go. How many are we here? Not much people. I've got to wait for more people to join us. You know, some people are not used to see me go live at this time of the night. Because I usually go live around 5, 6 p.m. or in the morning hours. Because sometimes in the night, I don't sleep. No, I sleep for 3 hours, I wake up, I cannot sleep anymore. I will just be rolling in the bed, go to toilet, come outside, go through my phone, stay awake all through the night. Again, later around 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning, you see me, I begin to sleep again. You see? Miss Mendes is in the building. I said, I know my people and my people knows me. When my people enters the building, you see them like and share my broadcast. EKGR is in the building. These are the owners of this page. As they come out, you see them take action. That is it. So, we are not going to stop until our people wake up from their slumber, because these colonizers that came to Africa and these missionaries that came to Africa, it took them years to achieve their aims. Yes, it took them years to, to achieve their aims. So it's going to take us years to wake our people up. Yes, from slumber, because a lot of people are still sleeping. I don't want to rush this broadcast this evening. I want to keep it cool. But anybody who has nothing doing should join me. Let's spend the evening together. It's not by force. So. I'm not forcing anybody who has nothing, because Europe is boring. Very boring. Especially when you get to a certain age. You will discover that Europe is boring. And the children you have, many of these children we have, when they grow, they will pack out and begin to live on their own. Many of our children you see here, and you cannot hold them. The culture here is different from African culture. Do you understand me? This is why you see some people send their children to Africa to go imbibe African culture. You see, most of the time that I make videos, I'm alone at home or with my wife. Some people may ask, where are this man's children? But I have children, but they are on their own. And most times, I'm not, do I say most times? Many of them are occupied with their own thing, work, schooling, and meeting friends. You understand me? How many, do you have, are you living in a duplex? Or 5-bedroom bungalow? Or do I say 3-bedroom flat? How many people can afford a bungalow in abroad? Very few people. Okay, well, it depends on the size of the bungalow or the size of the duplex. Because I traveled one time to Dublin, I saw the kind of duplex they built. Very small, one room down, one room up. And the rooms were so small, very small, like 20 square meters, not up to 20 square meters, 15 square meters. Sitting room is downstairs and a sleeping room is, a bedroom is upstairs. And then the kitchen is downstairs. I saw it when I went to Dublin. You see? So when you have such a small place, it may not cost you much. You understand me? So how many people can afford to live in 4-bedroom flat in Europe here? Few people, because you pay over 2,000 euros a month. How much are you earning? So if you want children to, live with you, your grown children, and don't forget, you as a married man or woman, you need your own privacy. You and your wife, you need your own bedroom. The children, the boys would need their own bedroom, and girls will need their own bedroom. And here now, in us, heard that it is mandatory that girls will have their own rooms and boys will have their own rooms. I heard something like that. They've made it into law. So, and that is why here, if you are living in a small apartment with your children, and if you go apply for Gemeinde Wohnung, that is council house, what's it called? In UK, they call it council house. This poor by the government, or from the government, they give you that quick, because this is why you see some people fight at home. They quarrel because there is no space. You don't have your space. You want to go to toilet, somebody's in the toilet, you meet somebody on the road, there is no space. You see, and Africa, we have another setting where you see boys bring their girls home. You have, but not always. Most children now want to live on their own. They want to do their own thing. They want to build their houses. They want to pack out from their parents' houses, especially the ones that are doing well. So the thing is, at the end of the day, you look at yourself. Sugarcoats, I see you. You look at yourself, and if you are foresighted, if you are foresighted, that is, how do I put it now? Like, if one can think ahead of time, you realize that if care is taken, a lot of people are going to be lonely at old age. You understand me? If care is not taken, a lot of people are going to be lonely at old age, because when the children are living on their own, and you have your wife or your husband with you, and what happens if your husband or your wife is no longer there at old age? You become lonely. Here you don't have kindred men and women you can always go to, spend time with. You don't have them. In abroad here, you don't have them. I cannot just go to my neighbor now and knock on the door enter there and gist the night away with my neighbor. They don't do it here in Europe. It's not like in Africa you can go to your neighbor, knock on the door, open the door, and you spend the night away with your neighbor, gisting, drinking, eating, and laughing. Here, self, where I live, nobody talks to nobody. Nobody talks to nobody. But guys, you're welcome this evening. This is not why I'm here. I'm here for us to discuss religion. You're welcome. Now, here we go. Did you know that our parents, our ancestors, were gullible, made mistakes? Our ancestors made Ikejaro, how old are you? You are still a young man now. Ikejaro, you have not, you are still, how old are you? You've not gotten to, have you gotten to 50 years? You still have time. It is important you do the right things on time. Like I started having my children in my 20s. I began to hustle at early age. Now, I'm on another level. So, it is important you do the right thing at the right time, so that at old age you can at least have peace and enjoy the remaining years, of your life. So, I was talking about the mistakes of our ancestors. The mistakes of our ancestors. Now, and our generation, a lot of people are waking up, but many people are still asleep. How come people from another continent came to Africa, came to our ancestors with a book and their stories? Oluwasegun, I see you. How come people that don't look, I know the world is coming together. Okay. Races, humans are coming together, but I'm talking about them. How come people who don't look like you, like people, the Europeans do not look like Africans. They look entirely different. Their hair, the color, the body structure, and everything. They don't look like our ancestors. Now, the life is freezing. Okay, let me remove. Now, is it better? How is it now? Guys, are you hearing me? Is it better now? Somebody said the life is freezing. Is it better now? Because I placed my Wi-Fi box directly on the fan. You can hear the fan is on. Is it better now? Okay. Because I placed it, because sometimes the whole day this Wi-Fi is on. So sometimes you see the box, will be so hot. If you touch it, you see that it's like boiling, it's like on fire. So I just removed it from the fan now. So, how come people who don't look like you, they do not speak the same language? No air condition. Somebody said no air condition in Europe. I wanted to put air condition here, but the price is too much. You buy air condition for 1,000 euro, 1,000 euro, 1,500 euros. Depending on the type, man. And how long does the summer self even last? Maybe 3, 4, 5 months, 3 months self. So people that don't look like you, don't eat your kind of food, came to you with a book. James Organic Juice, I see you, came to you now. Let me continue. Came to you with a book and their own stories, and our ancestors, they came to them with their own, with a book and their stories, and our ancestors believed them. They believed them. Now these guys came to tell our ancestors about their own God. That God appeared. That God appeared to them, spoke to them in their own region. You understand me? God told them. And what God told them, they noted it down, they wrote it down, and came to tell you. They came to tell our ancestors what God told them. Our ancestors believed it. Stella, good to see you. Our ancestors believed it. They told you about their own God. You see, they sold their God to you. We believed. How did they do it? They started by teaching Africans their language so that they would be able to communicate with our ancestors. They started by teaching African people their languages so that they can be able to manipulate our ancestors. Then they called it in my language, Kotima. I think that's what they call them, Kotima, translators. They made that time, just to tell you how long it lasted, they made that time, taught some African people their language, English language. They called them missionaries, taught them their language. So these guys then translated what the missionaries, the Oyibo people, the colonizers were saying. That's how we became Christians in Africa and Muslims in Africa. The Muslim story is different. Their own is jihad. Now, when I was born into a Christian family, and I prayed to God, I prayed to the Christian Bible, I prayed to all the things that we were told, because I was made to believe that my life can only change if I believe what was written in the Bible. And if I believe all the stories in the Bible. I sat during my, what's it called? I also did Bible knowledge in school. One of the subjects I did was Bible knowledge. So I read the Bible so very well. I read the history of another people. The history, the stories of another people, and I don't know mine. So sometimes when I sit on my own, I just cannot believe that even up till now, a lot of grown men and women cannot think. A lot of grown men and women are still caged in these religious beliefs or doctrines. The stories we were told by other people. These people, they proved their superiority over African people. You've got to take our religion. Believe in what we told you. Begin to pray to our God. That is subduing people, controlling people. You've got to believe it. And whenever you worship God of other people, that makes you inferior. Now, these colonizers or missionaries that came, they came to tell us about a God that our ancestors never knew. Back then, we had what was working for us, which was deities. Deities back then in Africa were potent, worked for us. Many, it is not like I witnessed it. Deities, even up to now, deities in Africa worked. So Africans had their own gods. We have Africans, they have their own gods, which worked for them. It is not joke. Like, and these gods, these deities, were what, made the societies, what kept the societies running. They tell you, you don't go to somebody's farm and take the person's farm produce. Don't steal another man's farm produce. Don't steal another man's. Somebody is saying idol is not good. Who told you? How do you know that even Christians and Muslims are idol worshippers? Don't you know? Who told you that Africans are idol worshippers? How do you know that the religion they brought to you, the one they brought to you was the real religion? Have you met God before? Have you seen God before? How do you know that Africans are idol worshippers? Because the Europeans, the missionaries, the white people came to tell you that you are where your ancestors were of communicating with their creator wasn't the right way. And that's what you believe. You believe it. Look at all the stories you were told in the Bible, and I've not read Quran, but I know about the Bible. The stories you were told. They told you in the Bible, even this afternoon I was on my own. They said, and then God, after creating every other creation, heaven and earth, on the sixth day, God decided to create man in his own image and likeness. Adam was created a full-grown man. Listen. Adam was created a full-grown man. When it was time to create Eve, God did not create Eve, a full-grown woman. He now decided to use a rib from Adam to create woman, Eve. Listen to this story. Listen to this Bible story. Now, when it was time to create Eve, he used a rib from Adam and created woman. Let's leave that one. I will see, come to that. Okay. When it was time for him to send the Messiah, he did not create his son. He decided for his son to be born. Now, the question is, why didn't God create his son? Why did he allow his son to be born instead of creating him the way he created Adam? Because he is the Almighty. We've got the right to ask questions. He is the overpowered, the Almighty God. Why didn't he create? Miss Mendes said most African gods were called. This is what I'm talking now. They came not only in the Vatican, they stole all these deities, the gods of our people. And Africans don't ask questions. If you go to British Museum, this is what I have not been there. Many people said many of these African gods are in British museum. In fact, one guy once made a video of one god in Igbo land, one deity in Igbo land that he saw in UK. I saw the video. Listen, if you come to Europe, if you come to Austria, where I'm living, you will see statues. I drove taxi in the night. You will see molded statues, like human statues, you know, the one you call idols in Africa. Many old buildings, even many old buildings in Vienna here, you see statues of human beings, their ancestors, the molded people, dead people, their great men and women. If you look here, you will see statue of their people. Many of you that are living in Europe may know it, may have seen it. When I came here, I was even scared. To be honest, when I came to Europe, I was scared because you see some buildings, you see statues of human beings. And if you ask, they tell you this person lived so time. Go look some ancient buildings, you will see statues of their great men. So, somebody said, what can dead people do for you? Listen, I did not come to tell you what dead people can do or what they cannot do. Why are you as a Christian or a Muslim calling on dead ancestors of other people? Look at all the prophets and all the people in the Bible, they are dead, but you call on them. You that is a Muslim, all the people that may be written in your Quran are dead. Why do you still talk to them or call on them? That is the question. So now, if you to tell you how African or how hypocritical Africans are. Man, the first time I went to Chinese restaurants here, I was scared. The first time I went to Chinese restaurants here, I was scared. Ask me, why was I scared? Because when you enter a Chinese restaurant, the first thing you see is a very big fat statue. I don't know if some of you have observed it. You will see a very big statue that looks like Chinese person, very fat, at almost always at the door or at the entrance. And I see it in many of this, like a statue, Chinese looking statue. Sometimes not Chinese, it looks like a Chinese person, you know, that kind of Buddha. Yeah, Buddha. Okay, Stella Umi said that's Buddha. Okay, this is their own belief. That is their African people. If you have a restaurant and put such in your restaurant, mold such statue of maybe what you believe in, they say you are a ritualist or they say you are idol worshiper. Many Africans will go to Chinese restaurants. They will not have any problem with that statue in Chinese restaurants. They will not have any problem with it. They will find it comfortable. It's Chinese people. But if you as an African, you have a restaurant and man, this thing I'm telling you is the reality. If you have a restaurant and mold a statue in your restaurant that look like anyhow, they say you are a ritualist, you are a juju man, or you are idol worshiper. Nobody will come to your restaurant. But Africans in abroad will comfortably go to Chinese restaurants and eat food, and they will not find any problem with it. When sometimes, you know, when I go on social media, now on Facebook, I see Indians, they worship something that looks like elephants. That statue or that figure looks like, you see, like elephant with elephant tusk, elephant looking, and with the body of a woman, kind of. Listen, you see something like that. Indians, they worship this in, maybe that could be Hindu or Buddhist. You see how this, what I don't know if some of you have seen it. They have this kind of thing, they worship you. Even you may, if you are not careful, you'll be scared. That statue will be decorated. So I said, so this is what Indians believe. This is what works for them. And Africans may see it as idol worshiping, but it works for them. That is their religion. This is what works for them. And they have been holding to it. And India is not, they are growing in the economy. One of the most populous country in the world. And they have their tradition, their culture, their religion. You go to India, many of them are Hindus. They are Hindus or Buddhists. Very few are Christians and maybe Muslims. But they are mainly Buddhist. Buddhism, I think that's what it's called, or Hindu. Many of them are Hindu. How do they worship? Different from Christian way of worshiping or Islam way of worshiping. But things are working for them. But Africans are the ones that don't question things. Africans are the ones that are quick to abandon their way and embrace foreign ways. Today, what is going on? You've been so brainwashed that even your ministers of religions or your ministers of religion are working on you. All these religious clerics are working on you seriously, using you to make money. Today, what happens? What is going on in Africa, in Nigeria and many African countries? Let me tell you. All these ministers of religion, they are using their congregations to make money. Sometimes, these are the things that woke me up. These are the things that woke me up. Listen, they tell you, you need to pay tithe and offering. Tithe and offering. How can Almighty God, men, think along this line. How can Almighty God, who created heaven and earth, who we pray to for favor, they said God can supply all our needs. When we are sick, we pray to him. When we need money, we pray to him. Everything we need, we pray to him. How then does God, who we are asking help from, need our money? Guys, listen to me. How? The God who has the power to create, make things happen. He created the animals, the heaven and earth, and everything in it, all the creatures. The most powerful God. How come God that is so rich, we are praying to him? Father, I have financial problem. I have no money. I am sick. I am this. I am that. Help me to pay my rent. Help me to gain a job. Help me to gain a job. How come this God that is almighty, that is rich, that we are begging for favor, grace and all, how come he need the little one we have? We are managing. What does a rich God want to do with the little we are struggling to make? I mean, you may not get this thing. Are you getting me now? You see, what does God want to do with the little, that tithe from me? What does he want to do with it? And then, when these ministers of religion, I'm not talking only about the whole religion, these ministers of religion in Africa, they keep manipulating you that you've got to give God in order to receive favors. That is, you have to bribe God in order for God to do something for you. We are talking about the Almighty, the all-sufficient. That's what he is called. The all-sufficient God. Before he can do us a favor, we need to bribe him, give him money. That means they tell you need to give him money. 10% of your salary or 20% every month. You need to. Man, can you not think? Can you? And these people, I've run a program here. I said, where does God bank this money? Where is he banking this money? This money that they are taking from you, they said you are giving to God. Does God have bank accounts? Which bank is he banking this money? I've asked this question. Don't you ask questions? People that are living, which bank is God banking this money? So what is he doing with this money? Is he using it to build a house or using it to buy food? Or is he using it, what is he using this money for? How can God need physical cash? How come God needs physical cash? If I tell you guys something, a lot of people don't make use of their brain. Ask these ministers of religion, how are they giving God the tithes and offerings you are paying? Ask them. How are they assessing God? Are they meeting God one-on-one? Or are they transferring these tithes and offerings you are paying into God's account? Let them show us God's account. They should ask God, they should show, man, somebody will. This is how they learned it from missionaries. White people came and scammed our ancestors. They came, they brainwashed and our ancestors believed. These are the things these pastors are doing. Brainwash you. If they tell you to give, if I come here and ask questions, some people may say, why are you asking? Miss Mendes said, listen, Miss Mendes said, the money is for the maintenance of the house of God. Now listen, God does not live in a house. God has no physical form. So God doesn't live in a house. He's not a human being that will live. You call it house of God. God cannot, he cannot, is he sleeping inside the church? Is he cooking inside this church? They call it house of God. Is God cannot, a spirit doesn't live inside a physical house. You understand me? Is God a human being that he can live, that is living inside a house? Now, somebody said it's for the bills. Now let me tell you. See, let me tell you how you were lied to. Nobody knows anything. They tell you God is living in heaven. He is living in heaven. How do you know? How can you prove that God is stationed in heaven? God has no particular location. This is a spirit being. So he is not located at a place. He's not seated at a place. This is why He is everywhere. You understand me? He is in Asia. He is in Australia. He is in Africa. He is in Europe. He is universal. He is not stationed as a place. He has no physical form. Don't be deceived. This is how they lied to us. They told you when you die, you go to heaven. There is no sorrow and pain. This is what they told you. There is no sorrow, there is no pain. Who told you that? These ministers of religion that told you about heaven, in the first place, it was Europeans that used that heaven and earth to scam Africans. Yes, these Europeans used heaven and earth to scam Africans. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. They told you God is in heaven. And if you die, you go to heaven. It's not true. All these pastors, ministers, Islam imam, clerics, ask them, why is it, even all the people, why is it whenever they get sick, they go to hospital to have themselves treated? Why don't they, when they get sick, they should allow that sickness to kill them so that they can go to heaven? I saw a video where passengers were airborne. They were inside a flight. And there was turbulence in air. There was turbulence. You know, when the plane flies, at times you meet turbulence. So, somebody said because they are humans. No, don't say they are humans. Listen, you were told that when you die, go to heaven. It's all joy. No pain, only enjoyment. You will sit with God. You marry with God. Okay, Miss Mendes, I'll come to that. It's only joy. Why should you remain? You say why should you remain here on earth and be suffering? Why should you be suffering here on earth? Breaking your head about house rent, going to work to get money to buy yourself food, when you can go to heaven where you will not work, but you will have food. You don't need to labor because you are in heaven. You only sleep and go to toilets and eat burger. Enjoy. It's only enjoying and singing praises. So is that not, you don't do anything, it's so where you will not get sick. No hospital, no pain. Why don't you die and go to heaven? You got it. And then, so I saw the plane. Inside the plane were Christians and Muslims. As they met turbulence, all of them, they began to call on God to save them. Christians and Muslims inside the flight were shouting, calling God. They don't want to die. After they will be talking to you about heaven, they do not want to die to go to heaven. That's what they tell you. They don't want to die to go to heaven. Do you understand me? You see that all these stories are lies. You see pastors move around with bulletproof cars, bulletproof vests. So they go to the best hospitals. Even politicians, rich politicians, they go to the best hospitals. They don't want to die. All of them, both rich men, influential men, are security conscious. They have security. They go about, if heaven is real, why don't they die and go to that heaven? Men, wake up. Wake up. That was what they used to scam us. Somebody said, believe Muhammad Arab. How can I believe Muhammad? Why don't you tell me to believe in my ancestors? Why should I believe Muhammad? Why should I believe in Arab God? Why should I believe in Jewish God? You see the problem here. Why should I leave my own people? I do not, did you know what Africa, my ancestors sacrificed? Did you know, why should I convert to Islam? Am I an Arab? Why should I convert to Islam? Why should I convert to Judaism? You see the problem. Why should I convert even to Christianity? I cannot worship any God that does not look like me. I cannot worship any God that does not speak my language. You brought a religion that your people worships. Arabic religion, Jewish religion, Christian religion, religion that has nothing to do with my people, that were introduced to us. You said I should believe it. And let me tell you, if we keep believing in other people's religion, that makes us inferior. That makes us inferior. Yes. We need to go back to what, even I better remain like that than to have any foreign religion. I better remain neutral. I better remain neutral. Somebody said I don't believe in Jesus. Somebody asked on YouTube if I don't believe in Jesus. Listen, let me tell you the reality. The story of Jesus Christ or Muhammad were told to us. It did not manifest to us physically. We are believing in Jesus Christ or Muhammad or whatever based on stories told to us. We did not witness it. We did not see it. The story was brought to us. People introduced these stories to us. God should manifest himself to the people of Africa. That is, how can people come and tell me about God? God should tell me about himself. Show himself to me and I will believe. They wrote a book and told you about certain people. I don't believe it anymore. I don't believe it. Let God manifest himself to me. See, let God manifest, because he is, that is almighty. He cannot only show himself to people that are staying in. How can God limit himself to Middle East? How can God, who is supposed to be universal, limit himself to Middle East? As he was showing himself to people in Middle East, he was supposed to show himself to people in Africa, people in Asia, people in other regions of the world. A lot of people, like many Europeans, they tell you in this way, they are non-religious. In this way, they are non-religious. You come and tell me, to God of Israel, I should pray to God of my people. You get it? I cannot pray to God of another people. That's how Africans will be calling on God of Jacob, God of Abraham, God of... I cannot call on God this. This is idol worshiping. I cannot do it. Now let's go there. This Abrahamic religion, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, began with Abraham. Before Abraham was born, that is, before the birth of Abraham, how did people worship God? This is the question to you. Before Jesus Christ was born, you that is saying Jesus Christ, how did people worship God? Did you know that this word has been in existence before religion started? Don't you know? This word has been in existence before religion began, before men created religion. If you go through the history they told you, Terah was the father of Abraham. Abraham was born. Abraham's ancestors were not Christians. They were not Muslims. They did not know anything about Christianity or Islam or whatever. They were traditionalists. You get it? They were traditionalists. So how then it is this belief they tell you that the only way to go through God is through Jesus Christ, that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. To Christians. How about, is Jesus Christ the way, the truth, and the life to Japanese people? Let's reason it. Is Jesus Christ the truth, the way to Chinese people? Is it the way, the truth to the people of the Korean, non-Christian countries, non-Islamic countries? Answer me. God is not a Christian. Even when Jesus Christ was, according to the story itself, he was a Jewish believer. He was not a Christian. So he wasn't a Christian. And all these religious books made it appear, okay, as if God is for Christians, or maybe Allah is for Muslims. So I cannot. And then the Bible said, I cannot come to God except through his Son. How? You cannot access God except through his Son. They say nobody goes through the Father except through the Son. That was what was written in the Bible. How come? Are you getting the point now? So many questionable things. I cannot come access God unless I go through the Son. And you believe it. It's just like I have children. Some people don't come. Some people have come to defend. Some people say because Jesus Christ is God. How can Jesus Christ be God? These were stories you were told. They told you, if I ask you questions now, you cannot answer it. Let me ask you, that is watching, this is evening. So let's reason together. They told you that God created Adam, placed him in the Garden of Eden. What language did God speak? What language did God speak to Adam? I'm asking you. Did they tell you? What language did God speak to Adam in the Garden of Eden? Are you listening? What language? Somebody said English. English is a new language. English should be about, I don't know if English is up to 1,000 years. English language. Go make your researches. English language may not be up to 1,000 years. It has been in existence. This English language. Now, I'm asking you, Painkiller said Latin and Greek. Listen now, to tell you that Africans are still ignorant. Somebody said God spoke in Latin and Greek. Listen to people, see African people. Somebody said Portuguese. So that means God is a Portuguese God. God is a Latin God. God is a Greek God. That he spoke to them in Greek language, in Latin language. Africans. Let me keep that by the way, by the side. You were told. They said serpent deceived Eve. And serpent deceived Eve in the Garden of Eden. Which language did serpent spoke to Eve? Which language did serpent use to communicate with Eve? They told you that the serpent. Somebody, Ulish said Jewish language. So God is a Jewish. So the serpent and Eve and God, they are all Jewish God. You see it. You see it now. You see how they brainwashed you. So the serpent can speak Jewish language, but cannot Hebrew language, but cannot speak Hebrew, cannot speak Yoruba. So the serpent cannot speak any African language. So Eve was a Hebrew woman. That's God created a Hebrew woman. You see the brainwashing. That made them, they tried to use religion to make themselves superior. God has to speak their language. Why don't God speak my language? Why don't God communicate with me in my native language? So God spoke Hebrew to them. They are Hebrew people, Hebrew God. You see it now, Hebrew God. Not Igbo God, not Yoruba God, not Kenyan God, not, you see the brainwashing. And this is why they said, they are God's own people. They tell you they are chosen people of God. You see they sit on a job. They sit on a job. You see the brainwashing. That's why they said, because God spoke Hebrew, communicated with them in Hebrew language. They tell you they are chosen people of God. They are Hebrew, God's people. Africa. God, a God that cannot speak my language. So God requires me to speak other people's language. He did not manifest himself to me, to my ancestors. Then he's partial. He is partial then. He has to always, only all the whole thing that happened in the Middle East. He didn't come to Africa. He not come to us. He didn't come to show himself to my ancestors. That other people need to come and tell us about God, about Muhammad, about Jesus Christ. And if I talk now, you get angry, say, why am I talking? You did not get angry for the brainwashing, the way they came to brainwash you. Somebody said by then they were speaking only one language. Which language were they speaking? Tell me. Which language? Were you there? How do you prove that all the stories told to you were true? You see this, the problem I have with African people, they believe everything. How you don't even question it? How can you prove that they told you the truth? Something you cannot prove and you believe it. That's why that's why Africa is still backward. That's why Africa is still backward. You cannot prove anything. See, they told you, blessed are those that did not see but believe. You see the scam. They told you, how can I believe what I did not see? They said, I will be blessed if I believe what I don't see. See the brainwashing. The highest 419. Blessed are those who did not see but believe. You see the job they sat us. That is, believe what you did not see. This is the problem of African people. You see the problem of Africa. See, then how come non-Christians, non-Muslims are prosperous? I dropped a video on my page where I said, there are so many countries in this world that are not Christians nor Muslims, but they are progressive. There are people who are not religious, but they are rich, comfortable, successful. How about that? How about that? Even the so-called religious countries are backward and suffering. The so-called, like Nigeria, let me say it. The so-called religious countries are backward and suffering. They pray every day, but nothing is going on in the country. But the countries that don't even have religion, like Christianity or Muslim, are moving and progressing. Do you understand me? You got it now. So Japan, I dropped a video. Japan, are they Christians? Are they Muslims? North Korea. You don't need to be a Christian or a Muslim to be prosperous. You see some people come, some people don't even pray, but they are still prosperous. Most of the things you are using, most of these technologies you are using now, we are invented by scientists that don't even believe in any, they don't have religion. They don't have religion. Why then, you as a Christian or a Muslim, your country is poor, and why didn't God bless, why hasn't God blessed you in your country? Very good. How was our fathers prosperous? Before the white man came, the white European missionaries, before even our African people have been prosperous without religion, living on their own. Men, wake up. Wake up. So what happened before the advent of religion? I'm asking you. They came, they told you, your ways are evil. Your ancestors are evil. Their culture is evil. This is evil. You believe it. You embraced foreign, everything foreign. That is the problem of Africa today. You are in Nigeria, you are in Ghana, you are in Cameroon, you are calling on God of Israel or God that is in Mecca. You have to travel to Israel or to Mecca before God will answer you. Say you are going for a religious pilgrimage. That means you have to go to Israel or Mecca, Saudi Arabia, before God can. That's where God lives. That's what they want. That is where God is. God is not in your country. It's not in your continent. You have to travel to Israel or Mecca. That's where God is to you. The Holy Land. Your own town and village, your country is not Holy Land. God cannot answer you in your country. You see it? So that means God cannot answer you. It's only when you go to that place, when you go to Israel, or when you go to, where is it? When you go to Mecca, that's when God will answer your prayer. You see African people. You see African people. God is there. It's not in your country. It's not in your town. It's not. You see the brainwashing. They made you subordinate. They made you, that is, they made you inferior. Follow. Keep following us. Follow us. And you expect them to respect you. You should be the champion. Let others follow you. Even the Bible, you've got to be the head and not the tail. You've got to be the pace setter. You've got to dominate. Guys, it's about time African people wake up. Well, if you are seeing me for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page. My name is RODDY. I'm here to create awareness. I'm here to, this issue of, Ulrich said we need religion to balance our life. How? How? Look at what's going on in Africa. Religion divided us, did not even unite us. What has religion done? See, why should people come and sell their gods to us? Tell us about their God and we embrace it. And we believe that is the real God. Why should people come and tell us about it? God should be able to tell us about himself. Do you understand what I mean? Why should they need to come and introduce their gods to us? Men, think it now. They will write a book and tell us about their God. The God that is in a book, the story is in a book. Today you believe why God is a Jewish God, a white person. Angels are white. Angels saints. How come the angels they told you in these religious books? Look at the names of the angels. Michael, Angel Michael, Angel Gabriel. Look at the names of the angels. Africans say. Look at the names of the people in the Bible and all these religious books. There is no angel in the Bible that has African name. You cannot, no angel in the Bible or in the Quran that has like, no angel. I did not read Quran. I cannot say what I don't know. There is no angel Okorie, Okoko, or Okonkwo, or Olubenga, or Simi, or no African name. You believe it. You see what this is? It's another form of colonization. How do they portray angels? When they told you, when they want to draw angels, a pictorial, proof, what they do is they draw European-looking angel with wings. They will paint the angel white. You believe it? Have you seen where they drew angel that look like an African man? All the angels they have been drawing looks like pure European face and white. Go to Africa, the churches, what? Make our time to ask. So God shows only white angels. These stories that white people told you. Stories that white people. So all God's angels. So God is a racist. He did not include the Chinese. Even there is no angel that looks like a Chinese man or a Japanese man. All angels, all the angels look European. Jesus Christ looks European. God shows only Europeans and you don't want. They made you Africans to be worshiping them. They made you Africans to see Europeans as gods of this world. They sat down and planned it, and you believed. You believe it. You believe it. This is why I said, why should, if God had included black people as angels, I would say, okay, this God is not partial. I want to see Chinese. There is no Chinese angel. No angel that looks like a China man. No angel. No angel that looks like a Chinese person. No angel that looks like a black person. I've never seen any angel that they draw. White man has never drawn an angel that looks like an African. Dark. They have never done it. Whenever they want to tell stories of Satan the devil, they will paint the devil black. You believe it. It is only black people. You see the brainwashing, the manipulation. When they want to draw the devil, they will draw the devil black. So black people are devil. White people are angels. Now, I feel like smashing. Some people are still asleep. Some people are still asleep. Every now and then now you go to pilgrimage. You are going to religious pilgrimage. Anton, I see you. You are going to religious pilgrimage. Ulish said I talk sense, but why? What can you do about it? So you don't know what to do about it. You said I'm talking sense, but you don't know what to do. You were told lies and you found out it was lies, and you said you don't know what to do about it. You see the problem of African people. You were told lies and you said you found out it was lie. You said you don't know what to do about it. Somebody asked the question on YouTube. Man, when I became woke, man, I denounced, what is it called? I stopped going to church or mosque or anything. I believe in myself. You used religion to make yourself superior. Painted Jesus Christ, white, European, everything. Africans don't question. They said, why, how? Even that Middle East itself is not Europe. The ancient inhabitants of Middle East were dark-skinned people. They weren't Europeans. All these people you see now that are occupying this Middle East, North Africa, all these areas you see today, if you come to think about it, these areas, that Middle East, all these areas are African. This is African continent. Who partitioned the world? Who named it Middle East? Africa. Who? So, Anthony, I see you. Anton said, greetings from Europe. Well, guys, I came out. I want you to go to my YouTube channel now, YouTube page. YouTube account, and subscribe to my YouTube page. We say things the way it is. I cannot, as I am now. I don't want to be seen as a lesser human being. I don't want to be seen as a subhuman. I don't want to follow other people's religion or way of life. I cannot do it. Not at this age. I cannot do it. No. I'm now a grown man. And I have so many questions to ask. And as time goes on, I will keep coming up with questions. Yes, I'll keep coming up with questions. Look at what's going on in Africa today. If you go to Africa, which system of government are we practicing in Africa? Oyibo system of government, the same thing. Which everything African people have today, both religion, system of government, system of education, is from the Europeans. They are from Europeans. Check it now. This is what colonization, slavery did to the people of Africa. They destroyed all what you've got, your culture, your tradition, your way of. They destroyed everything, rewrote your history. They rewrote your history. See, what is democracy? Before colonization, white people are, what system of government were you practicing in Africa? Ask yourself this question. Religion, system of government, system of education, everything now in Africa is Western. If I talk, you say you don't. Ask yourself. Today, how do you read? You read in English language, or Arabic language, or French language. How many of you read books in your native language? This is what colonization did to you. How many people that are watching me now that can write in their native language? But Chinese people, they write in Chinese language and they speak their language and they learn in Chinese language. Chinese people, they write, that's their language, they write in, even Arab people, they write, Arabians, they write in Arabic language. Do you understand me? They write in Arabic language. They read in Arabic language. But many of you Africans that are watching me, native Africans, you cannot even write or read your native language. We only, Miss Mendes, you got it. That's it. This is the problem. And it is getting worse. That's the problem. That's the problem. Anton, I'm located in Austria. I live in Austria. You got it. So guys, I want you to follow my page. I'm not seeing any follow. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on YouTube. Go subscribe to my YouTube page now. Go subscribe to my YouTube page now. This is here. We speak the truth, the way it is. How many of you are quick now to defend certain things? How many of you here can write in your native language? Even to tell you the damage they did to us. Even me, because I've been in abroad for many years, even to speak my native language now is difficult. I cannot, there are so many words, even it is shameful. Because of, we were brainwashed, story too much. Stories are, that is too many stories. Unless, if you don't follow, if you don't believe in my God, you go to hell. Unless you believe, look at that's brainwashing. If you don't believe in the God of Israel, you go to hell. You need, these are, when you go to the Bible or you go to the Quran, these are people's tradition and cultures that we are written that have nothing to do with Africa. Go see. All the whole things that were the culture, the tradition, everything is about other people's culture. They brought it, they forced it on you. Yes, everything is about that is what is meant. Go look. They tell you about the Passover feast. They tell you about the Sabbath day, the days to keep holy, the days of the week, what to do. Other people's culture and tradition. That's what you made your religion. That's what you made your religion and way of life. If I come, you come. If I come, if I'm telling you, you think it's a joke. Guys, I came out to spend the evening. Story plenty. I came out to spend the evening with you guys. I want to bring this broadcast to an end. So, Bangbook, I appreciate you. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow, It's another day. I appreciate you, Bank Book. So, that's it. We got to wake up as a people. And this is why they keep disrespecting us. We are not original. Before now, in the afternoon, I made a video. I spoke about, well, let me leave it because I don't want, some people may think I'm dragging them, but let me leave it for now. Anton, I'm opening people's mind. A lot of people are becoming aware. I'm opening people's mind. Yes, sir. You will be somewhere in Africa. You know the painful thing? You will be somewhere in one village in Africa, one town or one country in Africa. Listen to this. And you have a problem somewhere in Africa, and you are calling on God of Israel or God of Mecca. You are in Africa, and you are in African soil, in your country, in land of your ancestors, and you are calling on God of other people, God of another country. African people. There in the village, man, I will never do such again. There in the village, you are calling on God of Abraham, God of Isaac. You are in your village. You are in Olo, and you are calling on God of Abraham. The Israel you are calling, or Mecca you are calling, or anybody you are calling, your ancestors, your great-grandparents have never been there. Your great-grand ancestors don't even know this name. These names were introduced to them. These names were introduced to them. You have a problem. You are standing on the soil where your ancestors lived for thousands of years, flourished, raised you, and you are calling on other people God, Africa. The land that the soil, the land you plant, you farm on, that blesses you with food. The land you plant food, you farm on, that blesses you, your soil, your native land. When you plant crop, it will grow and give you food. You don't consider that land holy. It's another people's land, another people's country you call holy land. The land that has preserved you, blessed you for generations, that you came to be who you are today. You don't, it's not a holy land. You don't, it's another people's land. And you believe God is not in that land, that gives you food, that shelters you, that when it rains, your crops will grow. You will leave that land and be going to another place, travel another place, say that is where God is. That is where you are going for religious pilgrimage. To you, that is where God is. Africa. Africa. You go to pilgrimage. You carry empty, you go spend your money. When you finish your money, you carry empty, you come back with empty hand. Come to the land that feeds you. You eat from your native land that you are eating from, that gives you food. You drink the water of the land. You eat, you make money, you survive in the land. To you, that land is not holy, it's not blessed. God is not there in your native land. It's another land that God is. You need to go to another land. You go to Mecca or you go to Israel and go and pray. That's where God is to African people. So guys, today, if I ask you, how do you pray? Many people here, they don't pray in their native languages. Many people, they pray in English language. It's only when you pray in a white man's language that God will answer you. Many people, how do you pray? Or some will pray in Arabic language so that Allah will answer them. So if you talk to your creator in your language, he will not listen to you. He will not hear you. Well, guys, let's call it a day. Let's call it a day. Well, if you're not following my page, go now and follow my YouTube account. Go now and follow my YouTube account. Yes. Now, let me, before I end this broadcast, let me ask you. Jesus at a time was born. Muhammad was born. Before these prophets or maybe whatever, messiahs were born, people were already here on earth. We are living. Isn't that so? People were already living here on earth. How did they live? For those that told you that Jesus is the way, what of people that lived before Jesus was born? What was their way? Which way, how did they access God? When you say Jesus is the only way, how about before the birth of Jesus Christ? How did people that lived before his birth access God? If you say he's the only way, that is, men, make use of your brain at least for one time. Okay, they said he was born like he died like 2,000 years ago. How about people that lived like 4,000, 5,000, 7,000 years ago? When they bring, that is when they tell you stories, ask questions. When you read book, some people, when you read a book, don't believe everything you read in that book. Use your own natural intelligence and ask, now, is this believable? Is this believable? They will tell you, and the angel spoke to Mary. A spirit entity, a spirit being. Does spirits talk? Well, that is a story for another day. Tomorrow is another day. We are going to look into it. So, yes, we need to wake up. That is, man, a lot of things angers me. A lot of things annoys me. Many things annoys me. Yes. Many things, and these are the reasons why they look down on us. They already pack us somewhere. They see us as conquered people that they have worked on. People that they have worked on. They don't, even it will take time to free our minds from these manipulations. It will take time. Some people don't even know. Some people are still blind. So guys, Riverrat, follow my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate you if you do that. So, guys, go to my Uncle RODDY on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers quick. Also, Follow me on TikTok at Uncle Roddy. You can as well follow me on Facebook at Uncle Roddy. Go to all social media platforms. You will see Uncle Roddy and follow me on those. I'm going to drop more videos tomorrow. And many questions tomorrow. I'm going to have a very interesting broadcast tomorrow. And I'm going to come out with many questions. So, how many people are watching on I cannot see it. How many people are watching on TikTok? How many people are here? So guys, I want to wish you guys a lovely evening. Tomorrow I ain't got nothing doing. I ain't got nothing doing. So I'm gonna drop video back to back. Gonna go live back to back many times tomorrow. Wait, maybe tomorrow we are going to discuss politics or marriage or friendship, fake friends or things like that. Jane Organic Juice, thank you for the roses. I appreciate you. So guys, I want to say good night from Vienna. Take care of yourselves. Tomorrow is another day. I want to say thank you to everybody that sent me a gift. Bank Book appreciates you. James Organic Juice. Now Anton on YouTube, I appreciate you. Riverat, I appreciate you. Everybody. Ophelia, I appreciate you. I think that should be the name. Patrick Martins, Miss Mendes, Majestically Mane, EKGR, Abby, I say good night to you. Do I remember? God's last born is my sister Star in the building. Stella Wume, my sister in Texas, good night to you. And have I mentioned Chukwebuka Ndibo? Man, I should even sometimes to remember my co-fans. If you make a comment, your name will pop up and I will give you a shout out. The Rim Sereye. Jordan Sa, EKGR. So many other people that usually come. Philly, thank you so much that usually come to my broadcast. Did I forget to mention anybody? If I forgot to mention your name, pardon me. There are so many names, sometimes we don't remember. Oluwasegun is always on my broadcast of recent, and so many other people. So, Ikem is not, maybe Ikem is here or not here, and so many. I've mentioned Patrick Martins. Who else have I not mentioned? Paul by Waters, I did not see Paul by Waters. This Paul that dwelleth by the river bank, I did not see him this evening. Well, guys, I want to say good night and enjoy your day or your sleep.